Plenty of women say that women empowerment is dependent on what each woman makes of it. However, some arguments I've heard for that point is this view could inadvertently ignore the need for collective action, making it more of an individualistic approach. Now, as we've covered the history of women's empowerment in today's contrast, discussing some of the personal choices women make around empowering themselves is a crucial part of the conversation. Okay, so let me ask this question point blank and try to give me a quick, articulate response here. What is women's empowerment? Huda, what would you say? Choice?
The ability to make choices for your well-being.
Okay, Jacqui, what would you say?
Authentic choices for yourself and challenging social norms. For me, empowerment is, I think I said it earlier, everyone's going right, I go left. That's empowering to me. I make my own decisions. I make my own path. I feel good about it. Society doesn't dictate that for me.
Huda Backus.
It's true. I feel empowered.
Abby, what would you say? What is women empowerment?
I mean, women, they have like superpowers. I mean, they can have babies. They're
It's
completely
unique.
different. Yeah.
They're unique.
Yeah, they're different from men. They have, we have our own, I don't know, I feel empowered just being home with my kids and being able to care for them and seeing when my husband struggles a little bit and I can step in and just take over. And it comes more naturally.
Do you find that women today are more or less empowered at home, being stay-at-home moms or just being a more traditional outlook?
Definitely less. I remember working, whenever I would speak to people, they'd ask me, oh, do you like what you do? And I'd be like, yeah, I'd rather be home with my kids. And they'd always say, oh, just give it a few years. You'll be happy to get the break. And
right.
I don't think that's empowering.
I was a stay-at-home mom for 15 years.
Really?
And raised 2 boys. And
did you feel empowered in that way?
It was a very traditional Catholic Italian home. So it was what it was. And I evolved and life changed. And as you grow, you might feel completely different in 20 years. You might I really love the challenge of working in corporate world. I love the industry. I'm very moved by COVID sort of changed the way I'm taking on Black Lives Matter. And I like to be an activist. I like to inspire others to think out of the box and to challenge social norms. But I wouldn't have done that when I was raising my children. Well, I was barely sleeping and nursing and feeding them. And
well, I would say that, yeah, you have different, as a woman, I feel empowered. I want to be home with my kids when they're young. And then, yeah, when they're older, I have other plans. I want to do more with my life as well. But I do think that being an active parent, actively in your child's life, rather than being at work all day, every day,
it is truly the greatest job and it's most rewarding. And it is.
You're
very inspiring. Talking to you before.
I love stay-at-home moms because I was raised by one, so I'm a little biased in that way. But I mean, women can make their own decision. But I appreciate you saying that, how you feel empowered being at home and raising Freddie and your kids.
I think if we had the choice, I think we don't because of economically, we just don't because of inflation and where we're at, and it's 2024, we don't have the choice to stay home. But I think if women were given the choice to stay home, a lot of modern women would want to be able to raise.
Do you feel like it's flipping?
It is 100%.
I
say that because Gen Z, you guys are a little different. My daughter is a Gen Z. She's like, I just want to stay home. I want to cook. I want to clean. I want to, bake on Sundays, and I want to enjoy my time. I said, what? Why? And I was like, I've worked so hard. You want to do this? What's the reason? And I think it's having the ability to be feminine. Our generation, I think the millennial women are kind of tossed up between, and we've had so many of these conversations, the masculine and feminine energy, right? Our generation has to work and provide, and we're that woman generation that worked and had families at home.
I think a lot because of my generation, I'm a little older, and generations, even some of the women before, is why we have the opportunity to work and have these choices and get these things. That's empowerment. It started the Gloria Steinems and the Jane Fonda and whatever. Because of their movements, we get these choices and decisions.
And that's why she has the choice.
What I'm wondering, it's interesting you say that it's flipping. Abby, I take your perspective a little bit as well. Just the idea that is society almost not forcing, but really heavily influencing women to take on what were traditionally male roles and men to take on maybe what traditionally female roles were. Is that okay? Are we breaking that natural norm?
I think we are. I do. I don't agree with, this is a little bit contradictory. I 100% support and believe in female empowerment, but I think there's certain limits that we should put on ourselves so that we are not overtaking masculine roles and energies just because we're so empowered. And then that leaves no room for men to enter our lives. And you see that in the dating culture.
You're paying.
I mean, like you see that. You see that.
I gotta cut you off. Okay, we'll be right back.
But you see that in the